yes, are you ready for the Unit 3 Bible Play Challenge? This is where we as a whole school learn one Bible story that points us to the unit theme. And this story is going to be a giant-sized story. So this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna hear it right now, and then you can go on to read it. And from there, it's your turn to tell the story. So this giant-sized story is none other than the story of David and Goliath. Now, let's start off first with our antagonist, Goliath. That's the guy who's the villain. Goliath, he is a giant in the Philistine army, and this army had been taunting the Israelite army. They had been saying things that were not good, and Goliath basically was saying, give me one man who will come and defeat me. He just was saying, let's challenge this one guy and see if he can come and defeat me. And nobody would come. None of the soldiers would go to challenge Goliath. Now, here we have our protagonist, our main character, and he is a shepherd boy, David. David is not a soldier. David is a shepherd boy. And in fact, in this exact moment, David was going to deliver food to his brothers. That was his task for the day, not to go fight a giant. No, his task for the day was to go deliver food to his brothers. And he got there and he said, "What is going on? What is going on?" And he heard the challenge and he heard what was happening and he said, "I will go and take on Goliath." None of the soldiers would go, but David, a shepherd boy, was not okay with this Philistine giant who was taunting and putting down and saying awful things about the army of his God. And so, in that moment, Saul, the king, calls David to come to him. And he says, okay, I'm going to empower you by giving you all of my armor. And that seemed like a really good idea. It was nice of Saul. But David, when he put on the armor, he was totally weighed down and he said, no, I will not wear this armor. I can't fight in it. But I am a shepherd boy, and I have fought off lions, and I have fought off tigers, and I have fought off bears. Oh my! And the God who has delivered me from the mouths of those will deliver me today. Wow, that is incredible, incredible faith. And so David goes and he finds some stones and he has a slingshot. And with one fling of his sling, he defeats the giant Goliath. See, here is why this story is so great. It is a fantastic example of empower because David, this task was, by all intents and purposes, by all the world standards, it was impossible for him to defeat this giant. But with the power of God, with God on his side, he was able to defeat the giant. And then here's the amazing thing happened. A chain reaction started. And the Israelite army now felt ready and empowered to go do what they were supposed to do. And they went and fought the Philistine army. Wow. One boy, empowered by God, does an impossible thing because God was on his side, and then creates a chain reaction for others to feel empowered to go do what they're supposed to do. And that is what happens. That is what happens when we step into faith and let God do impossible things through us. A chain reaction can happen. You might start to see others feel like they can do what they're called to do. You never know. But what we do know is that with God, all things are possible. So now it's your turn to tell the story in a fun and creative way. Tell this story of empowerment. Are you ready?